to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kirsho here. Now then, this is going to be part 1 to what if Deku had the abilities of a full vampire. Now I'm not just going to call this what if Deku was a full vampire, because I've seen people do a lot of the whole full vampire thing or hybrid thing, where they basically make Deku a lichen from Underworld. And if I were to do a full vampire, I would want it to be an actual quirk. And I am pretty sure Lazy What If, he did post a what if Deku was a vampire. I believe he did. I do know there is someone out there who did. And if I were to do that, I don't want to copy them or just say something that they may have said in their video. So this is going to be a quirk, not a supernatural ability. But Deku will still have the affliction to sunlight. That is the only thing vampire related I will give Deku, because the holy water, the water thing I recently learned, which I did not actually know about, basically the line of water and crosses and stuff like that won't work on Deku. Those are considered to be holy items, along with the fact that his quirk is based on science. Now, with that, let us begin. We will start with Inko Midoriya. In this universe, her quirk is considered to be vampiric, if not Draculific. What I mean by that is, she basically has heightened senses, increased speed and durability. Along with that, she does actually have her quirk activate by essentially having blood. What I mean by that is, the more blood she consumes, the better her quirk can work. So she would actually use this quirk to try and be a hero. Along with the fact that she does get cravings for blood occasionally, but she has been able to control them. And she will be a hero from America, because basically Inko will look like this. Now, I actually really do like Underworld. I think it's amazing, and it's one of the best what ifs I would want to do on this channel, but I would want to go through everyone else's versions of it so I can make my own original idea. So I will put that on the list later. Now, she will be coming to Japan because her line of essentially quirk holders, they are actually a very good, they are essentially a very good family. With the fact that this vampiric quirk is a dominant gene. Everyone has one version of it or another. Usually it will always have something to do with blood. Now, Hisashi Midoriya. He is a pro hero up in Japan, and they have arranged for a wedding. Now, the reason why they've arranged for a wedding is because they heard about his quirk. Along with the fact that they do try and bring in more people with Draculific type quirks to essentially see what would happen. Not just that, but Hisashi and Inko, they actually do click and connect with each other. So it's actually not a forced marriage, it's actually a planned marriage. They have spoken to each other, they have talked, they've done all this, all that. Now, afterwards, they would be talking more and more, and eventually Inko would be pregnant. Now, Hisashi Midoriya, oh, dang it. I'm gonna need a minute, I did not get the picture for this. Alright guys, that took me a minute. This is essentially Hisashi's hero costume. Except he would only have, I want to say, the cutting knives and not the sword. Along with the fact that he would not have these blades on his shoulders, or hands. Now the reason why I picked something from Assassin's Creed, and if you guys do not know, this is Assassin's Creed, it is actually because, well, essentially his quirk is good. But he also does need to consume more blood. Basically, his body, he can move and react faster, along with the fact that he does have night vision. And that's basically why I picked something, well, essentially a hero costume from Assassin's Creed. Basically, with this night vision, he's able to see in the dark and do all this. But one thing that is bad about his quirk, he does get the night vision, he does get basically faster reflexes, and he also does have one fatal flaw. His quirk basically makes his body, well, he can't interact with direct sunlight. Otherwise, his body will start burning, if not smoking. But if he has every portion of his body covered, along with the fact that he would just wear some netting in front of the hood, you basically have his hero outfit completely. Now, night vision, reflexes increased. The downside, and I believe it was... I'm not going to question that. Anyways, I'll figure that out later. But basically, these two are considered to be very good heroes. I want to say that Hisashi, he would be around the, well, he would be around not... I want to say he would be around 3 or 4, because Best Jeanist, I don't see him very physically fighting people. It's just that he uses their clothes to fight against them, and that won't always be the best tactic. So let's say that Hisashi is number 4 and Inko is number 3, taking Hawk in Best Jeanist's place. Now then, these two would eventually get married and have Deku. Deku will be born, and he is born with a mixture of their quirks, along with the fact that he does have a thirst for blood. But these two would try and work on actually taming that from Deku, if not trying to lessen his urge for it. Basically, the instinct will be there to consume it, but he will be able to repress it, so he doesn't bite into everything he sees. Now, with that, Deku, growing up, he has had somewhat of a weird childhood. He does stay inside a lot during the day, so he basically is a little homeschooled. But during the night, he is taken outside. He is taken outside, and his dad does train him, if not trying to at least get him to exercise and play around, trying to at least let him be a normal kid. One day, Deku, he would be a little annoyed, and he would finally just try walking outside. As soon as that happens, Deku would immediately be hit with a ray of sunlight, as he would begin smoking and burning, actually feeling this pain. Hisashi would immediately just run outside, and he's not in his hero outfit, as he would immediately just cover Deku, pick him up, and immediately just run back inside. As he did that, Deku, he would look up, and he would actually see how much his dad is injured. As Hisashi, he is just patting himself down. Deku would see this, and he's a little in fear and shocked. Okay, Deku, I didn't want you to know this until you were a little older. Our quirk, your mom and mine, you have both of them, yes. But the reason you can't go out in the sunlight is my quirk's drawback is I can't walk outside either. Okay, hang on. As he would walk over to the kitchen and actually pull out 2 blood bags, handing one over to Deku, telling him to drink it. Deku would just sit down and begin drinking it, as Hisashi would do the same. Deku would see the actual burn marks on his hand and the ones on the back of his dad's arms and neck actually healing. He would just say that they were going to give him a little bit of time, if not make him a special outfit. It will be made of similar material to my hero outfit, just it won't weigh as much. Along with, you actually will be able to go outside, but you may still feel you will still be hit with a little bit of sunlight, so it will still sting. Now, Deku, he would understand this, as One day, the suit finally would arrive, and Deku would put it on. He would actually do this, and he would immediately want to go outside. As he would do so, he just immediately just feels the fresh air, feels everything that he's been missing. Now, with that, Deku, he is in love with just being outside. He does not want to go back in. Now, Hisashi would just see Midoriya actually looking over in the direction of the sun, looking up at it. As there is a little bit of smoke, Deku would just immediately look back down. But Hisashi would just see Deku somewhat just do it again. Now, he's basically just looking at this and thinking that, well, he's gonna have to learn one way or another. Now, this is actually Hisashi's day off, as Inko would finally come home. She would just see Deku actually laughing and running around outside, but some kids are a bit not used to this. So they would somewhat question Deku. As one, let's say that they were in an actual nearby area, because, actually no, let's cut to the next day. Deku actually did go to a park, but he does just not wear the netting on his face. He just tries not to face in the direction of the sun, but he will still bring it down. Because he can essentially, I want to say he can pull it down from his hair, so it would lay above in a little pouch, and there's just a little string there, so you can just pull it straight down. Now, I want to say he would just have it open one day, and some kids are actually looking at him. As, let's say Bakugo, he would actually just run up, and he would just start talking with Deku. What are you supposed to be? Are you supposed to be... what's his name? The number 4 hero. Are you supposed to be him? No. Why? Well, why are you wearing that? It's weird. Well, I can't go into sunlight. Are you serious? Is that just your quirk? What? No. I have a mix of my mom and my dad's quirks. Really? So, what are your parents' quirks? Well, as Bakugo would just push Deku over. Deku would immediately fall over, and he actually did get one of Bakugo's goons were behind Deku, so they basically made him completely fall onto his back. Deku would just immediately just feel the sun hit him, as he would immediately come up holding onto his face. As that happens, Bakugo, he's watching as Deku, he would just immediately just bare his fangs at Bakugo. As he would do that and he'd just scream at Bakugo. As that happens, Deku's eyes would actually change to a red color. After that, Bakugo would just scream villain as Inko would walk over. I want to say Inko does look exactly like this, but, well, the hair would just be a lighter shade of green, so darker and closer to black. But Deku would get the black hair, if not the black pigmentation like in the picture. Now, this is whenever Bakugo, he would want to basically run behind Deku's mom, or Inko, and as soon as he does that, he would just say that Celine is here to basically stop the villain. As she would immediately walk over and try and talk to Deku, asking him if he's okay. Bakugo's confused as Deku would just say that he's fine, Mom. Mom? Wait, you're the number 3 hero's kid? Are you serious? Yes, young man, he is my son. Now, those childish games are not funny. As Hisashi would walk over, they would just see him actually wearing this netting on his face, as he would just say, childish games like that, they are not funny. Especially whenever you don't know exactly how the person's quirk works. Clearly, if they're wearing something like that, then they are wearing it for a reason, young man. You're the number 4 hero. Yes, and I'd love it. I would like it if you would stop doing that with our son. As Baku would just immediately look back at Deku. You're You're joking me. As they would just leave the park. Now, I want to say Deku is actually put into the same school as Momo and Todoroki. And Deku, he is in that school too, but I don't know if Endeavor homeschools Todoroki, because I was going to make them interact if he doesn't. Yeah, okay, that works. Deku, he would meet Todoroki one day, and Todoroki, he just stays inside and doesn't actually play, as he was told by his dad not to. Now, the teachers are kind of confused as to why these two students are staying in, but one of the teachers would start whispering with the other one, and they would have explained that, well, one of their quirk is, well, they can't go into direct sunlight. The other is, well, it's hard to explain. He's Never's son? Deku would just walk over to Todoroki, and he would just try asking him a question. So, why aren't you playing outside? Oh, my dad said I shouldn't. I shouldn't, I should stop doing that. It's not the proper way to train or focus on my goal. Your goal? What is your goal? Oh, I'm supposed to surpass All Might. Surpass? You're joking with me, right? What? No, no, I'm going to be the number one hero when I'm older. Why? Well, because my dad wants me to. If your dad wants you to be the number one hero, that doesn't sound like a goal, that sounds like a mission. Um, oh, didn't really think about it that way. As he would just ask what Deku's doing here. Why isn't he outside? These two would be talking more and eventually somewhat form a friendship. Now, that did not feel right. Anyways, with that, Deku, him and Todoroki would be talking, and eventually, whenever Deku does get a bit older, let's say, that does not work at all. Let's say whenever he does get a bit older than 4, around 4.5 to nearby 5 years old, he is actually somewhat having a bit of an outburst, as he would basically be a bit hungrier today. He would be drinking as much blood as he can, as eventually Deku's dad would find him, and he would actually have to pull out a blood bag from his mouth. Now, he would basically be telling Deku that he can't just act on that urge whenever he wants to. Not just that, this was an entire day's worth of food for them. Deku was just annoyed as he just says that he's hungry. He can't help it, can he? Hisashi would just basically get annoyed as he would scold Deku and actually call a doctor. As he basically explains what's going on, the doctor would understand, but he is still a bit hesitant to come up to this boy who basically sucks blood. No. Eventually, Deku, he would meet with the doctor and he would explain his problems. As the doctor would basically be telling Deku that, yes, his quirk does this, but you need to know one thing. You might have a little better time with the way your mother's quirk works. In fact, he believes that he may outgrow the sunlight phase one day. Sunlight phase? Well, yes, actually, it's, the way your body negatively reacts to the sun's UV rays. Huh? You might be able to go out in daytime. Oh, that's actually really cool. Yes, but it's no guarantee. In fact, I'd say the suit is your best bet right now. But your cravings, you are going to have to be monitored on them. Along with actually probably going to quirk counseling. Quirk counseling? Yes, it's where you and people with very similar quirks would actually go to talk. Anyways, boy, that is just the best amount of information I can give you, as the doctor would pack up his stuff and actually leave Deku's apartment. Now, why are they in an apartment even though they're very, very, very high-ranking heroes? Less windows. Because I don't feel like you would buy a house just to make it a giant cement building with no windows in it. You could just do a standardized apartment and just have blocked out windows. Now then, with that, that is where I'm going to be leaving this episode off, guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will be posting part 2 very shortly, if not soon. I actually am trying to look a bit more into different things, but I keep trying to... I'm rambling. I keep finding things about different types of vampires, which are different from the ones I'm trying to base this on. Anyway, guys, bye.